On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Eugenics. I think that poor people got to have kids because it just has to happen. I think that we're all designed to spread our seed. There's always been a poor class. There's always been a class that's had more. I don't think that's ever going to change. And I mean, this is all hypothetical anyway, right? But that working class, we talk about taxes and the rich people giving back, but they're getting that from poor people buying stuff. Right. So like all of that money, it goes up the ladder to those people, and then they give some of it back via taxes. Without those consumers, without that consumer class that buys stuff, without the people that go to work every day and work those factories and build Teslas, we wouldn't be able to have the luxury. So I think that's
the average person's
but I completely agree. And I disagree with the fact that you can't live well with $100,000 in most instances.
As an individual, you can.
Now, if you're
As an individual, you can, Trey.
Like LA or maybe Miami or New York, major cities, no, not with 4 people.
Recognize that across the world, a majority of the world are severely impoverished. And what I'm saying is that there is a level of not impoverished. I'm not saying middle class, but there is somewhere that's not eating dirt that where every human being can be on this earth.
Kayla, do you understand? Hold on. Kayla, do you understand that the average person, how much trash we put out every single year as individuals? Honestly, like when we talking about resources, when we talking about living, we're not just talking about. Do you understand the amount of animals that you have to farm and the methane gas that goes in the air that contributes to global warming in order to feed people?
I'm loving the direction of this conversation.
I'm just saying, listen, when we talking about resources, honestly, this planet cannot sustain even having 9 billion people on this earth, and it's just multiplying exponentially. So we're not just talking about the amount to feed people. We're talking about the cancer that humans are on this earth and that we take more from it than we put back into it. It cannot sustain this amount of people for this long. Why do you think that China banned people from having kids for so long?
You know,
it's a reason for that.
I knew you was about to go there.
I know you were going to bring up China.
Anton, you just... Oh, my bad.
I have... my goodness. I have a question.
Anton, you just suggested eugenics based on income.
But I believe... Listen, I think that Thanos was right. I think that Thanos actually should have snapped his finger and eliminated 3/4 of the population, not just half.
So who's going to make your microphone and your hoodie?
That's the point. I probably don't need one.
Wait a minute.
You're going to be walking around butt naked because most of the people that make a lot of money,
I do walk around butt naked.
Plus 100K, they're making it based on other people's work a lot of the times. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, Trey?
They have employees. They have, so those people that are working underneath them shouldn't have any children because I get what you're saying because I do believe that a lot of people are irresponsible for when they have children and shouldn't. At the time that they do it, but I don't think that it should be based on $100,000. And I don't.
PMP, you do realize that 5% of the population pays 90% of the taxes.
I believe that.
As much as people feel like rich people are absolutely insane, right? Especially when you consider we're not even factoring in payroll taxes. We're not factoring in any of that stuff. Small percentage of the population pays the majority of the taxes, which means that the people that are on the bottom, the people that we love so much, the people that I often refer to that's in the victim Olympics, are taking 10 times more in resources than they're contributing to this earth.
Well, if you talk about just resources,
but hold on, PMP, but they're having the majority of the children also.
Yeah. Well, it's because you always need a working class. And I think a strong working class is what gives you the power to have elites. You can't really have elites. There's no Jeff Bezos if there's nobody working at the Amazon plant. You know what I'm saying?
There will always be a Jeff Bezos if nobody's working.
And the people delivering them packages, okay?
There will always be a Jeff Bezos.
I need people delivering packages.
Since the beginning of history, there has always been a rich and a poor. Always. It will never change.
That's what I'm saying. There's always been poor people, and I think that they're always going to exist because
But they shouldn't be having kids, is all I'm saying.
And some people don't.
But they shouldn't be having kids. That's all I'm saying. They shouldn't be having kids.
I just feel like in the United States of America, there are places that you can live and raise a family on $100,000. Yeah, you cannot live in a major city, boo. You need to move to Savannah, Georgia. That's where you have to live.
Or Ohio.
But
Kayla,
Ohio or Texas or something.
Let me ask you a question.
You're not about
Texas,
to live
a lot
in
of
New
my
York.
clients
You're
have
not about to
more
live
than
in
4 kids.
Miami. You're not about to live in LA.
Wait. But you're talking about today.
But in Tennessee, we'll be okay with 100,000. I promise you, you can get a 4-bedroom house, and rent a house for $1,200 a month, and get a cell phone for $100 for all 4 of y'all on a plan.
Don't
get
not
me
today.
started
You
with the
can't.
budgeting.
You cannot do that today.
Don't get me started.
You cannot do that today. In any major city
today. I'm giving you current.
You cannot live like that in any major city today. With 4 people in a household, you can't.
That's said not in a major city. That's what I just said.
Okay, in a rural city. In a rural city, you can't do it. Because you're still gonna have to get a car. Listen, if we want to just be real, most of these people that's living out here, most of the people that's driving on the road. Hold on. Most of the people that's driving on the road don't got car insurance, right? Most people that we know that eventually get up to a certain point, at some point was on public assistance. Most people are a part of the public school system, in which the people that actually make the majority of the money are the ones that's funding most of the public school systems. That's a fact. These are not even stuff that I even have to debate. These are things that are absolutely a fact. But Anton, at some point, most families have had their electricity cut off. That is true. Like this is not even. Listen, most people are living in poverty. Most people are. The average person makes less than $50,000 a year.
Anton, though,
this
is not something to even debate. Most people are broke as piss.
A $100,000 per year household with 2 kids and 2 parents is not considered poverty.
I agree, I'm not talking about if it's poverty. I'm saying that these people that make a certain amount of money should not be having children.
But you also said that a couple with 2 kids making $100K shouldn't have children. You just said that.
I said that they should not. No, they should not have children. No, they shouldn't.
Why?
I don't believe that that's poverty, but I believe that once you have 2 children, it could turn into poverty. 1,000%.
Hold on, I want to go to Trey. Let me go to Trey real quick. Go ahead.
I agree. The thing is, I agree with Anton in terms of people being irresponsible, but I disagree with the eugenics. I think that 4 people got to have kids because it just has to happen. I think that we're all designed to spread our seed. There's always been a poor class. There's always been a class that's had more. I don't think that's ever going to change. And I mean, this is all hypothetical anyway, right? But that working class, we talk about taxes and the rich people giving back, but they're getting that from poor people buying stuff. Right. So like all of that money, it goes up the ladder to those people, and then they give some of it back via taxes. Without those consumers, without that consumer class that buys stuff, without the people that go to work every day and work those factories and build Teslas, we wouldn't be able to have the luxury. So I think that's
the average person's
but I completely agree. And I disagree with the fact that you can't live well with $100,000 in most instances.
As an individual, you can.
Now, if you're
as an individual, you can, Trey.
Like LA or maybe Miami or New York, major cities, no, not with 4 people.